Hello. And happy whatever day you're watching this. And hopefully, let me see if I can see myself back there. Can I? I don't really know, y'all. Hopefully, I'm in the pan, like in the screen. And we're also going to hope that the video doesn't turn off because just before I got ready to film this, it said I also had 37 other video clips in there. So fingers and toes crossed. This doesn't just cut off. As a matter of fact, let me make sure it's recording. You just wait right here. Yep. Looks like we're good. Looks like we're good. Okay, so first and foremost, I just want to thank everybody for commenting on my last video. The one that said I quit. If you didn't see it, I will leave it over here, there, somewhere over and through there, and it'll open up into a different window if you want to watch it after you watch this video or before that video. But I really appreciate all of your well wishes, all of the people that are proud, every person's comment that gave me suggestions on what to do for future videos. And I was very happy with those, hence me being back here on the couch. And I think I'm going to try to do like an every Monday sit down on the couch chat. I just want to give a shout out to Nana. There is someone that wrote me a comment named Nana and left me a few different topics of discussion for sit down videos. And so I just want to say thank you because you actually had really good like thoughts and things that I should talk about, at least 2 or 3 of them. And I'm going to do one of those today. So I really appreciate it. But I say all of this to say that if we really want this to be a true sit down every Monday kind of video, everyone's gonna have to leave a comment down below with a question. Either leave it down below with a question, or you can write me in my Instagram inbox. And my Instagram is Patiently Woven. So let's jump right into this. The one thing I will say is that I don't do any like pre-scripted, pre-thought out videos. So if it's just a jump about and I go on a tangent, that's because I just literally sit here, turn the camera on, and chat with you. The one thing I did do though was write down one of the questions from the comment that she wrote. And so I wanted to make sure that I wrote that down because that's going to be the topic of discussion for this video. But yes, right now, if you could pause the video, if you could think of something that we could sit and have a chat about on Monday, a good discussion, write it down below because I'd really actually appreciate it. All right, so this question actually is in reference to school and class because that's what I've been doing recently. And the question was, what is it like to go back to school as a mature student? So the funny thing about this question is when I first read it, I thought, oh, sweet baby Jesus. I'm a mature student. Like I read the word mature and I was like, wowzers, I'm getting old. I'm getting old. So I am 35 and I will be 36 in a little over a month in October. Oh, tangent. I finished the Jamaica vlogs. Those are done. If you didn't see them, they are up. I do have a short vacation I did after that I am going to post probably this week on, let's just make up a date. Wednesday. I'm going to post it on Wednesday. And so I think that's what I'm going to try to do Monday sit down videos and then do like some vlog videos later on in the week. I have not yet posted the first video from my first semester sitting down vloggity vlog chat that I've been doing every week for school, but I'm also going to do that this week. So let's say we'll do that on Thursday. We'll do it on Thursday. Okay, so plan. Monday, you're here with me. We're talking. Wednesday, I'm going to put out the vacation vlog that I went on. And then Thursday, I'm going to put out the vlog from my first week of class. All right, we're done. Back to maturity. So I read the word mature and I thought, sweet baby Jesus, I must be old. So I'm 35, I will be 36. And it is very true that for going back to school, it does feel like I am a much more mature student. I was recently talking to someone over the weekend and they were saying like this concept that you're never too old. It's very interesting how we all feel like we're old at the time and space that we're in, but there's always someone who will tell you that you're never too old. You're never too old to go back and do it. You're never too old to start something. You're never too old to build a business. Like, you're just never too old. And so here I was sitting there, thinking, man, I'm 35. I'm about to be 36. By the time I really wrap this whole thing up, I'll be 37, going on 38. And I was talking to her, and she was explaining to me how she was graduating with her bachelor's at 51. And I thought, here I am thinking that I'm just out here old and crusty doing this thing over, when in actuality, it's not. So in my particular classes right now, they are very small because I told you my program is very small. But the one thing about it is that most people that are going into this career are going into it as a second career. So most people are over 30. So that's nice to be around, and it's nice to see. But then there also are the students that come straight out of high school, and they're here and they're in the program. And sometimes I have to remember that when I see people, because in most cases, people think that I'm significantly younger than what I am. And I found that in going to class, the younger students think that I am significantly younger than I am. So I'll start having a conversation, and I'll immediately realize that, like, oh, I'm going to say they're probably between like 18 and 20 or something like that. So it's nice and it's refreshing. But back to the point. So as a mature student, there are a few things that I've realized. One, I have a much greater appreciation for my education at this time. When I was going to school, straight out of high school, 17 years old, had some financial aid, got a scholarship, my parents paid some more, I didn't understand or have as much of a grasp on how important it was at that time. And now, the difference between then and now is going to school as a much more mature student, that I strive to be the best of the best. When I do my schoolwork, when I sit down with my grades, when I do my assignments, I strive to be the best of the best. Like, I'm not just going there to pass. I'm not just going there to get a C. Like, I want whatever the top is, that's what I want. So there's that. Also a greater appreciation in the way that, like, when you are grown and when you are an adult and when you're going to school and when you are using your own personal worked hard coins to do it, you have another appreciation for it that you might not have had when it was being paid for, And so I find that doing this as an investment into myself makes it so that I'm far more invested in the outcome of it, is what I will say. So just to tell you a little backstory on how I got into actually going back to school this time around, which I think is a story you guys don't know. This is going to be a chatty video, y'all. You probably should know that when I sit down, I could chat for quite a bit of time. I try to shorten it because, they say that on YouTube, people's attention span is much shorter. But listen, if you're going to watch my Monday video, then expect to be here for a while, or watch it in the evening. But I'm hoping that if you're watching, you're like into what's being said. But anyway, so I decided that I was going to go back to school during the pandemic. I ended up getting laid off from my job. I got laid off from my job much later into the beginning of the pandemic. So a lot of people got laid off like right there at the beginning when they first realized COVID-19 was spreading like hotcakes and everybody needed to stay their butt in the house. Not me. And the reason why I didn't was because I worked from home. And it wasn't a big deal because if you work from home, you weren't going anywhere anyway. So that wasn't going to happen. Things changed though. Things changed. The economy changed, and I ended up being laid off. So I ended up being laid off, and then because I was laid off, I was able to file for unemployment. I filed for unemployment, and by the way, just want you to know, don't get excited, because by the time I filed for unemployment, we were much further into the pandemic. So I wasn't one of those people that got like the extra $700 on top of whatever your base pay was or whatever. I just got regular unemployment with a little bit of a boost. But I was on unemployment. I wasn't doing anything. I was just here, living my best at home life on a pandemic, trying not to go outside and get the thing. And one day I got an email from the Unemployment Administration saying that they were giving out scholarships And I thought, huh, this could be good. They were specifically giving out a $3,000 scholarship. And this $3,000 scholarship was starting off as a 1 semester scholarship. And I thought to myself, excuse me, I was planning on going back to school. I wasn't really sure when I was going to do it. I knew that what I was already studying, which was science and biology, that I was no longer going down the route of using it to teach, at least not from a career standpoint. I think that ultimately I will end up teaching, but probably more on a volunteer basis and a, philanthropic, help the world kind of basis, but not for a career. But let's talk about that later. So I knew that I wanted to go into the medical field. I knew that I was looking into things around cardiovascular. Sorry, I'm being nosy because, okay, they're not coming over here. And so I knew that, and I was like, okay, let me see if what I want to do fits into this particular program. Because it wasn't like they were giving all and everybody that had unemployment $3,000 to go back to school. They were not doing that. It had to fit into specific areas of need in the state of Virginia. And so because I was going into something that was medical, it fit into that specific need. So I thought, okay, well, this is a good shoe-in. It's a good shoe-in. It's going to be free money. It's going to be a scholarship that I could use. So that summer, because I got laid off in the summer, that summer I decided I'm going to apply. I'm going to try to get myself in. And then when I do, I'm just going to dedicate all my time and my energy to it because I didn't have a job. I didn't have a full-time job. So it was like, okay, I'm going to make this my job. And let me tell you, y'all, if you've ever taken a summer class, then you know that summer classes are accelerated and they are a shit ton of work. It's a lot of work in summer. And little old me decided that because this scholarship was $3,000, you weren't going to get a refund from it or anything like that, that I was going to use all $3,000 of that on my credits. So I ended up taking in a summer semester, I want to say 17 credits. And I remember the guidance counselor calling me and being like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Because this is a whole lot of work. And I was like, ma'am, I don't have a job. Yes, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I'm getting paid by unemployment, so I can pay my bills, not a problem. And I want to do something different. And so that was the start of this whole journey of going back to school. And so they paid it that semester. I got really good grades, surprisingly enough, without pulling all my hair out. And then I got a scholarship for the next semester. And I did it that semester for that full year. And then the following year, then I started, applying for financial aid, paying on my own, had a job, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I think that being a mature student is very different in the way that you understand a whole lot better what it means to have a career, what it means to be educated, what it means to invest in yourself in ways that you don't understand when you're 17, 18, 19, 20. Sometimes, getting out of college, people, at 21 years old. So that has definitely been a great impact. I'm far more dedicated. I have a very strict schedule on how I get things done. At the beginning of the week, I write everything down. I make sure I have all my homework assignments, have all my videos ready, know the exact breakdown of all the grades of my classes, all sorts of things. When you guys see the vlogs from my weeks in the life from school, you kind of see a bit more on how I do things in terms of organizing and stuff like that. But the one thing that I will say is that I'm going to sound like a broken record, right? Especially me feeling like I was much older in this situation, that it is never too late. It's never too late. So if you're thinking about it, do it. Just do it. Just do it. Because the thing about life is you get to do this life whatever way that you choose. And so although there are preset out ideas on what life looks like, oh, I need a white picket fence, I need a house, I need a career, it needs to be this much, I need that car, don't fall into the trap. Don't fall into the societal trap, because it's not for everyone and for all of us. It's not a cookie cutter thing. And so if you want to go back to school and you're older, do it. It doesn't mean that you have to be crazy psycho and take 17 credits in 1 semester. But start somewhere. Take a class. Take 2. Do what you can afford. Apply for financial aid. or pay for it yourself, get great grades, and then get a scholarship. There's so many options and so many things out there, but if there's anything that I could say is that I would definitely encourage you to do it. What I'm doing now in terms of cardiovascular sonography is not easy. It's not easy, but the one thing that I will say is that it's like so worth it. And I'm so happy that I made this choice, even on the days when I want to pull my hair out. Even on the days where I am struggling, it's definitely worth it. And so if there's something you want to do, you're not too old for it. So it doesn't have to be school. If you want to open a business, if you want to start something, just do it. If you were hoping for a message, and you're waiting on one, let this be your message. So anyway, I'm gonna get going. Don't want to keep it too terribly long, but I will say, definitely post questions down below. They don't have to be school related. They can be life related. I can give some forms of advice. I think advice is one of those things that like people take some of what they need and they throw out some of the others, and everyone's opinion is varied. So it depends on like where you are in your life. But if there's anything you want to ask me, you sure can. There is a video that I want to do on a TTC related topic. It's actually something that I've been thinking about a lot recently, that I kind of want to just sit down and share my thoughts about with people who have been through the TTC journey or who have had some form of experience with that, because I think that that's something that only people who have had the type of experience can understand that particular thing. And so in the next few weeks, I do want to sit down and have a TTC related conversation with you about some things that I've been thinking about. Anyway, I hope that you have an amazing week. I will see you Wednesday with a vlog video from my vacation, and Thursday with the first video and my weeks starting school. All right, you guys have an amazing one, and I'll talk to you soon.